welcome back to the System Open Series 2019 from Paris, France. We are just getting underway for the final right now. Players are placing their asteroids right now. I'm going to switch over to that camera as soon as possible. But first, I wanted to tell you about the reason why I'm wearing this shirt, which is one of the most important things about this weekend. 3 weeks ago, Louis Vernochet on the 8th of July passed away after battling lymphoma cancer for 3 years. Louis Vernochet was a former member of the... Come sit down, Benoit. Of the former... I'm explaining about Louis Vernochet. Yeah, he was one of the more standout members of the community. Yes, everybody knew who he was. They've mimicked his tattoo. My option was to wear the shirt because this is the shirt he played X-Wing in, and because being on the camera all the time, it meant it was more of a visual representation. If I put a thing on my arm, you might not see it. We are remembering him today. It's a very sad occasion. He passed away 3 weeks ago. He was a member of the judges team like a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he won the Belgian national championship. So this goes out in salute to Louis Vernochet for his life and his achievements in X-Wing, and furthermore within his personal life. So apart from that, let's get ready to rumble, right?
Let's go.
I'm joined by Benoit Piccolo. Hello. Benoit, you might have seen reach the final in the Madrid System Open, but just got beat out by Fan in the last few turns. Yeah. Anyway, what we're watching right now is we're watching on the left-hand side of the table Lukasz Bollack from Basel, Switzerland. I forgot to put the Z on the end of his name. He's going to kill me for that. It's kind of like it's not actually a Z, but it's kind of like a personal joke for him. Lukasz Bollack from Basel, Switzerland. He's playing Benfic 2 tubes with Perceptive Co-Pilot, Chopper, and the Pivot Wing. Heftober has Selfless and Pivot Wing. Blue Squadron Scout has Gene Urso, Tactical Scrambler, and Pivot Wing. And a Blue Squadron Scout with Leia Organa, right? Let's move on over to the other side of the table and show you the man, the legend that is François Couret.
Amazing player.
Won the French National Championship last year in November, right? Which brings us to the next point of order, that because he has the flight paid for from the championship, national championship, it means that whoever wins this, it doesn't matter. Both players are going to the World Championship. Both players have their flight paid for. They're just announcing now the System Open at the final. François is preparing Colonel General Air Palpatine, Vinder with Trick Shot, Fire Control System, Advanced Proton Torpedoes, Advanced Slam, OS-1 Arsenal Loadout, Proton Torpedoes, and Darth Vader with Afterburners. Fran, me avisas? Right, and yeah, so we saw François win the national championship back in November, one of the first national championships from second edition, and well, Spain was first, I think, and then it was France.
Yeah, and the last Open final 2.
Yeah, no, that wasn't François, that was Sebastian Ortiz, but he got to the final, huh?
Yeah,
he got to the final, but lost.
Yeah, but lost. Yeah.
The time starts now.
Okay, I hear you. Right, so let's just press start there. I'm going to wait for like 15 seconds for the timer and then start it. Okay, so as we said, right, here comes the list there on the screen. So I've got something stuck to my screen. Lukasz against François. Once again, I get the pleasure to turn around and say that these two are friends of mine. I consider them friends, like you, right?
Yeah.
I've spent plenty of time interacting with them, and they've appeared on stream on several occasions, and so I'm really happy to see like two people that are some of my favorite players appearing in the final in this kind of situation. It's like with you and Fan in the final in Madrid. I was like, I was really happy for that, right? And the same here. Am I talking way too fast for you, Ben?
No, it's okay. I use the keywords.
Okay, I should practice my French more, but it really only comes out when I'm drunk. But we'll see. Oh, speaking of which, I should get a drink because I'm quite dry. Right. So, what do you think about the 4 U-wing list?
It's a list with many shield, many hull.
Yeah.
Good move with Leia.
Yeah.
Capacity to block. It's a polyvalent list.
Oh yeah, polyvalent. Yeah. Which, if you're not familiar, it's kind of like saying all jack of all trades sort of list. It does a bit of everything. Yeah.
And you can have a good alpha strike.
Yeah.
with Jin,
Yeah.
he can do a good defense skill.
Yeah. Let me get this.
It's interesting game.
So just to remind people of what Jin Urso does in second edition, if a friendly ship at range 0 to 3 would gain a focus token, it may gain 1 evade token instead.
With perceptive copilot is a good combo.
Yeah, definitely. And then with the perceptive co-pilot, and you've got Heftober with his ability to pass that that focus token around, right? Heftober's the one that can, after an enemy ship. No, that's the wrong one. It's Benfic. Benfic is the one that allows him to pass the. After you perform a focus action, you may transfer one of your focus actions to a friendly ship at range 1 to 2. So we saw in earlier games, Lukasz was using the coordinate action to coordinate a focus to Benfic 2 tubes, who would then get 2 because of the perceptive co-pilot, and would then pass one over to another ship, which then Jin could turn into an evade token as well. Yeah, so it's been a very effective combo there. Heftober, we're reminded that after enemy ship executes a maneuver, if it's at range 0, you may perform an action. So whenever an enemy ship bumps into Heftober, he gets that free action, which once again he can use as a coordinate to give Benfic the focus action. What else have we got going on here? What's the tactical scrambler?
You can have the one more dice.
That's it, the old jamming device. When you had a large base ship that would you act as an obstacle whenever anyone has to attack a ship that's behind you. You act as an obstacle, giving them the free evade dice. Yeah, whenever the line from closest point to closest point passes through your ship base, right? And then we've got Vinder on the other side of the table, which is a hammer, right? And that's really what François wants to be doing in this match, is pushing Vinder into that matchup and using Vader as well, maybe to flank and just be able to pick one ship off each turn, just push through damage on those U-wings, and maybe even remove Leia as quickly as possible to prevent that.
But the U-wing have 2 dice, 2 different dice. On the Proton, he can. He have the capacity to have the hit. And rest in life.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and so some cautious maneuvers, bringing them up. So Jendon was able to give 3 target locks out to Vader and Vinder from long range. Is it cold? C'est froid. No. Thank you. I have bottles of fridge. Yeah. So just get the key and go get them. Give me one. Okay. Right. Looks like François is going to move through the debris, the asteroids field, the obstacle field, I should say, with Vinder and Vader, and just kind of try and smash into the side of those U-wings as they kind of like skirt along the board edge, right, Benoit?
Yeah, right. And it's interesting, the build of the Vinder. With the updates, he take trick shots with 4 points. Yeah. And this he don't take for Vader the fire control system.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting choice.
Yeah.
And 199 points.
Yeah.
It's really performance, I think. I don't know the game on the all the game of François, but it's an interesting build.
Yeah, 100%. And as you can see, we've got in the lineup in the background there, plenty of French members watching to see who wins this. We've got Nicolas Durand, former French national champion and captain of Teams France for XTC, right? Yeah, he's on the left of the chairs in first row. Thank you so much. Yes, when I'm finished though, 'cause otherwise I'll knock it over. Yeah, and Lukasz is still creeping along his board edge.
Yeah, we are 6 players to French team. I play with Futil, Hellred, Steve.
Last year?
No, this year.
5 players.
6 for August. This
5
year.
players.
And one
coach.
captain and one coach. Yeah.
Doesn't play.
We can change on substitute
on
one day.
Oh, right,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we come to 6 players.
So you, Foutil, Pierre, the marshal of the System Open.
Mathieu Lille.
Who?
Mathieu.
Mathieu.
The Lille, of Lille.
What's
this? Tall guys.
I don't know. There's so many Matthews. There's so
Yeah,
many.
really.
Yeah.
And Steve is a Bretagne player.
Oh, right. One of the British Steve
Kosek.
Kosek. Ah, right. Okay.
And Hippolyte Mathieu of the non-squadron too.
Yeah. I guess is François?
François don't come.
He's not coming?
No.
Well, he's going to World Championship, right? So Europeans. I mean, what are we going to do? Have François go to European Championships and win that flight as well? How many flights do you need, François?
You must do choice.
You can't have all the prizes. You can't have all the flights. he sends his X-wing ships on one plane, and him on another plane.
He take all flight for all player French.
Yeah. And Lukasz, obviously, I think if Lukasz wins, it'll be the first time we've had a Swiss player in the World Championship, I think.
Yeah, not many players, Swiss player. Yeah,
there's very few. They had a national one year, and it was like 25 players. This was like ages
25.
ago. Back when we were like maybe wave 4, somewhere about first edition. They did have a national, and it was like 25 players, if I remember correctly. Anyway, so yeah, they're not a big community, but they do, like I say, they've been coming to the French championships for the last few years, and yeah, Lukasz has done very well today. And supposedly, according to him, it was the Swiss players that came up with the idea of the 4 U-wings. The Dutch players have kind of like appropriated it. But yeah, according to Lukasz, it was one of his friends that came up with the idea, and then after having taken it to one of the other system opens and people seeing it do well, it kind of like propagated throughout the rest of the throughout the rest of the communities.
The wing have the capacity to temper, to stay, stop. Yeah.
With the
it comes to fight.
Yeah. We saw in the last round, the last game that Lukasz played on stream against Damien. Lukasz does not mind jousting. It's the sort of list that you wouldn't expect to be very strong at jousting, but Lukasz did quite well with it against 5 scum ships.
Yeah.
And so in this case, I mean, whilst Vader and Vinder can put out a lot of damage, those U-wings can tank a lot of damage as well.
Yeah. And
of course they are 4 ships firing as well, and that could be a very difficult situation for Vader to find himself in.
Yeah. I think it's Vinder must do very be careful. Very be careful. But
maybe even what he wants to do now. I don't know. I don't see it being a good idea. I don't think it. Right. Okay. So he's going to joust. Maybe even slam and get some advanced proton torpedoes off. What do you reckon? Too much?
No slam, no bonus.
Yeah, he takes the focus.
Range 3.
Yeah, range 3 with the proton torpedoes.
Oh. How interesting fight.
Yeah. We have this. Yeah. so firing, combat. Vader.
So range 2 it is.
And I think he's firing on the Jinner, so U-Wing. Oh, those dice. Looks like a focus, a hit, and a blank.
Where's the guy with selfless? Just. He's in range. Yep. And the 4.
To it.
So 1 evade,
1 evade takes 1 damage. Shield.
Vinder, top.
Vinder is firing a proton torpedo. Gets 2 hits and 2 blanks. Spends the target lock to reroll the blanks. And another hit, so 3 hits now.
3 hits.
And you don't have to turn it, right? I don't think so. Oh, I have to, sorry. I have to.
Okay, so he turns it into a crit. And that's blank on blank. So 2 hits and a crit go through.
Okay, so no evades. I take 2 shields off here. And
He passes 1 over to Heftober with Selfless to avoid the crit.
maybe remove this one.
No range.
No range onto Vader.
That's
From
important.
the back, U-Wings.
So this one doesn't have range. So I check this one. I think that might be obstructed. So I will try Vader. Okay.
Right. So firing on Vader. Jesus. 1 hit, 1 focus. Focus gets spent for 2 and a blank. And François rolls 2 focuses. No, 1 evade, 1 focus, and a blank. Deciding whether or not he wants to spend the focus.
Force.
Uses the force, yeah. Okay. No damage there.
Next one as well. 1 Vader.
3 hits. Well, two and a focus. Gets converted anyway for 3. And Vader rolls blank, blank, blank.
Not enough. 3.
Hard start.
Damaging.
End of the round. Region 1. Can you show me the wheel of the, or is it on your list? No. No. Of this one? Yes. Here you go.
So yeah, they go back to dials. Lukasz asks to look at Vinder's dial to confirm his maneuvers.
François must predict move of U-Wing. It's difficult with Leia and the stop.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, right now I think, yeah, it's with Vader and Vinder moving forwards, I think a stop is a good opportunity right now. That Lambda's going to get left behind, just kind of stick back and let Vader and Vinder come to him and try and get as much damage through as possible. And the next turn, that turn's come out really favorably for him. That 1 die roll against Vader, getting him half points from Vader is neither here nor there, but the fact that he took very little damage in exchange for doing enough damage to Vader to get points on the board, puts him in a much more favorable position, and that was only with 2 U-Wings shooting. Next round, 4 U-Wings going to be firing back, and that's going to be a hell of a lot of firepower for the Vader and Vinder to be dodging.
Yeah, and with the selflessness, it's complicated to can dispatch the damage. And critical, and the list of François have many crits, natural.
Yeah.
And I think François don't systematics used the capacity of the Vader for not give the opportunity of Lukasz to use the selflessness.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Giving him that opportunity would definitely kind of hobble Lukasz's damage soak, as it were. Yeah. And that's kind of going to be one of the most difficult parts for François, is just trying to punch through. And he's not popped Leia. He's moved quite far forward with the Jin Erso U-Wing, and now with Heftober. Yeah, not going as fast, but definitely squeezing up there and making things a lot more giving François a lot less space to play in. Benfic 2 tubes moves forward. What? You need to speak to him. Come on. He needs to talk to you.
Stupidly bumped myself.
Right. So Jendon moves with a 1 bank to the left.
Coordinate. Vader.
So Jendon coordinates a barrel roll to Vader. Spends a force token to do an extra action. Vader bumps into Jin Erso. Vinder. Now Vader moves into that flanking position. And is he gonna...
Okay, and...
Is he gonna try and use the afterburners or... No, target locks. Target locks on Benfic 2 tubes. Which is one of the major parts of this squad, with that ability to pass those focus tokens around. The Perceptive Co-Pilot is definitely a big deal. Okay, so Vader gets 1 hit, 2 hits, and a focus. No, changes one to a crit. So that's like, I think we're looking at a hit, a crit, and 2 focuses there.
2 focus.
Yeah, I think those in the middle are 2 focuses, and he just separated a hit and a crit there.
It's difficult choice
it's difficult choice because spend the focus, don't have it for defense.
Yeah,
he's
only
got
one
force token, so
gonna spend it.
Spends a target lock and re-rolls them. And that's one focus and a blank. So a hit and a crit is all that Vader gets. One evade and a focus.
Ooh, you say. Yeah, sure.
Takes 1 damage.
It's a new Rebel Beef.
Yeah, the new Rebel Beef, yeah? Well, this is part of the point. One of the things that I was saying before is that Rebel Beef isn't just one archetype. They've got lots of ships that are worth about 50 points that they can put together, and that's basically the whole problem. Right, and there's 2 focuses and a blank. Re-rolls the cocked die. It's another blank. Spends the focus token to evade. Jendon fires on Jyn Erso. With 1, 2, 3 hits and a focus. And 2 blanks. So 3 hits go through on Jyn Erso.
On number 3, yeah.
Yep.
It's half points.
Half points there. 2 hit points left.
Okay, I shoot right back.
So Jyn Erso fires back at Jendon. Gets 1 focus, 2 hits, and a blank. Blank. Jendon loses 3. Now trying with Heftober firing on Jendon, I think. Oh no, maybe Vinder, right? I don't know. 2 focuses. Gets spent for two hits, right? Gets 2 evade. No damage done.
Yeah, I shot that 3. Okay, yeah, sure.
1 hit, 2 blanks. 2 blanks and Palpatine's an evade.
So now I think I have to take the shot.
1 hit, 1 crit, and there's a focus and an evade. And they go back to dials.
You have a good idea to keep his focus.
Yeah,
Vader.
absolutely. It definitely worked out for him in that case. But now, Vader's going in the wrong direction. Maybe wants to pull out a K-turn here. Maybe try and avoid letting them get away. Vinder also going in the wrong direction and possibly going to be blocked by one of the rear U wings.
It's possible with the cloud.
Yeah.
To have a solution that can't slam.
So is that 2 hull? 2 hull left? Yes.
And Jendon there just hanging around in the background. I think this might be the turn where Leia gets popped.
It's difficult to predict the
It's
move.
difficult because he wants to try and move the U-wings and still block Vinder.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, he wants to be able to turn easily and keep them in arc, keep firing.
Yeah, it's so difficult.
Yeah, that's Jendon's also a target of opportunity. He can just let Vinder and Vader kind of jump behind them and use all 4 U-wings to pound the Palpatine shuttle this round and take him off the board. So, I mean, there's still a lot to be seen of how far they're gonna go with it. because I mean Vader could probably be trying to take a free bank and then maybe afterburn and boost. Vinder might be taking maybe a 2-turn and slam to try and get out of there. It's I think probably Lucas's best option now is probably switch target priority to the shuttle. Allow Vader and Vinder a turn to run free and just get that Palpatine off the board.
Yeah.
And
with the rear arc fire.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah.
Maybe the U-wing with Vinder must be one forward.
The number 3, right? The one that's in contact with Vinder, yeah, the Ginerso one. Yeah. And which is the ship that's got the tactical jammer on it again? It's the Ginerso one, right? Ginerso's the one with the tactical jammer. So she would be serving as an obstacle as well for anybody. If she manages to bump the shuttle, then the shuttle would have to fire through her at any other target, giving them an extra evade die. Let me just double check that's the case, that the tactical jammer is on Ginerso. Yeah, tactical scramblers on the Ginerso ship. It's one of those longer planning phases because this is where everyone's going to. There's such high risk of bumping on this round, and being able to get the right position to not give an advantage to the opponent more than anything else. Lucas confirming that all dials are down. Lucas just double checking everything before they start maneuvers, and not pops Leia this turn, and decides to turn to the left with Ginerso with a 2-speed turn. Gets him into a good position for when he does pop Leia to just be able to turn back around and maintain fire on Jendon and Vinder. But I can't help but think it would have been better to go for the block that round on Jendon.
Yeah. The one thinking comes to block Vinder and keep an opportunity to fire on the Lambda.
On the Lambda, yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is Benthic 2 tubes moving forward 1 straight. Yep, staying there. Focuses and passes with his ability, one of the focuses from his Perceptive co-pilot over to the Heftober pilot. Now Princess Leia 2 turns to the left as well to try and effect a block on Darth Vader, and does a coordinate. No, does a target lock. What's the stress token for?
Sorry.
No.
Oh, right, yeah, he coordinated right, okay. He coordinated a target lock to Heftober.
It's a good choice.
Yeah. And Heftober uses the zero maneuver to spin.
Okay, Jenden. Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, yeah, I put it down. Yeah, but this one. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Press on Jenden.
Jenden does a zero stop maneuver. Yeah, so makes sense. Vinder gets bumped onto Benfic 2 tubes. So that works really well for him. Went really well for Lukasz, I should say. And Vader looks like he's gone pretty fast. Looks like a 4 straight, 5 straight. Yeah, so 5 straight. And then probably afterburner boost to the right. Maybe even barrel roll to reposition. Because he's not escaped the arc of Heftober yet.
Should I do it?
I think he might still just be an arc. It's hard to say.
With the barrel roll?
Yeah, if he barrel rolls now, but he doesn't, he focuses. But I think maybe if we were to say that this is the arc is going here, this is right. Obviously, this is not like a perfectly straight line, but yeah, I don't know. It kind of looks like it might be a possibility. It's hard to say. Like on the camera, it doesn't quite work as easy as it should do. No, it's not. It's not exactly that kind of a straight line, but it does look like it kind of the line coming from here and through here. I kind of get the impression it does kind of bisect the base here at that point. But anyway.
Okay. So
maybe if
even so, it's the only attack that Vader's going to take. So with the 2 force tokens and the focus, he can easily evade most of what Heftober can throw at him this round.
I think if he doesn't do the barrel roll, I think it's possible to doing no have the arc.
Yeah,
possible.
If he'd a barrel roll to the left, of course it would be out of Heftober's arc. And like I say, I think maybe he thinks he's out of it. So is this this would be Vinder attacking Heftober, right? And uses Palpatine, gets 2 hits. Heftober blocked, evades 1. And takes 1.
Jenden.
Yeah, François just not being able to put damage out. Jenden now firing, trying to fire on Gina. So
I can't see you, but I'm gonna double check anyway. Maybe we let the judge decide. I think it's a judge call if you don't mind. Yeah.
Ask a judge to check the arc.
No, it's close.
That's what he's for.
Okay, so this is an arc. Firing range 1 on Ginerso.
Number 2 is the one that... Yeah, on number 3.
Yep.
Should have kept my charge.
And gets hits, crit,
Oh,
hit, crit, and focus. There's 2 focus results. Spends the focus, takes just 1, and he takes 2. Takes 2.
Crit, doesn't matter.
Face up.
That's number 3.
It's dead anyway. François moves to the lead by 10 points. you. Yep. So now, firing on the Jet Lambda.
So 1 shield, 1 hit.
1 shield, 1 damage card. Half points from the Lambda. And Heftober fires on Darth Vader.
Oh, yeah, dark.
At range 3. One focus becomes 3 hits. Blank, blank, evade focus, spends the focus, evades 2, takes 1 damage. On Darth Vader down to 1 hit point now.
That's it.
Ah. And they go back to dials. So, Darth Vader in a bad way. Jendon, half points lost. I think Lukasz could have done better that turn. Like I say, if he'd have chosen to focus fire on Jendon and take him off the board, it would have been a better option for him. Darth Vader was disengaging. It was good that he managed to block Vinder. But yeah, like I say, I think I would have moved forward with Heftober, or at least not rotated him with the pivot maneuver, and maybe if not gone with the turn maneuvers with Jyn Erso and Leia. Just like I say, just kind of like conga line in the direction of the Lambda, and just try and put as much damage onto him as possible. And as we've seen there, the decision to not barrel roll with Vader, costs François once again.
Yeah, it's a good choice. Many luck on the shot of the U-wing. 6 dice, 6 hits, no blank.
Points to 47, putting Lukasz in the lead by 19 points now. Vader 1 hit point left, and not much damage put onto the 3 remaining U-wings. Vinder has not been able to take advantage of those torpedoes that he's carrying to really put any serious damage on any of Lukasz's ships. I mean, yeah, we've lost Jyn Erso, but it's still he's still got a pretty solid list to play with. And like I say, it's just a question of now of working out how he's going to focus into which.
I think we're what the ship with selflessness?
The selflessness with Heftober, this one here.
Yeah. I think it is the target because he can dispatch the damage. It's problematic for the half point.
Yeah.
But François have engaged very hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult. He has in bad way.
Yeah. And he's got right now. He has Princess Leia and Heftober are both stressed. So he's probably not going to be using the Princess Leia upgrade this turn.
Yeah, over you.
No use.
On this side maybe.
Right. So Benthic 2 tubes. Oof. All right, continuing. Ooh. From there, what kind of options has he got for the next turn?
Yeah,
I think
next turn.
I think he's he's probably going to pop Leia next turn, right? Because of that the position that Princess Leia U-Wing is in, I don't think he's got many options to keep himself on the board for the next turn.
Yeah. It's an occasion for Winder to launch another torpedo.
Kind of expecting that.
Yeah, so Winder moves forward.
Lock F. And then Vader, could you do 3 wing for me? So, let me check. Tell me the time of the day, not the time of the 5 past 5. That's it.
Yeah, I think Lukasz actually has had a train to catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just asking how long.
Really?
What time is it? Because not because of how long's left in the round, but he had a train, and he said if I make it to the final, I'm going to miss my train. Yeah.
At what time?
I don't know what time, but yeah, he told me that if he makes it to the final, he'll miss his train home.
Oh.
Yeah.
On Powerball.
For a finale.
We spoke to Fabian in the last round. He said he was going to drop now anyway because I think it's because he had to get the train, and yeah, now it's Lukasz is thinking, oh well.
you can't drop a final.
Yeah, if he doesn't die. Yeah, I wasn't sure the auto thrusters would put me out, and I think I wouldn't have been able to barrel, so try this way, but it's not enough. And then you didn't burn your lock. That's okay, let's do this. So, but I had no shot. So, Winder, advanced proton.
5 dice.
Yep, advanced proton torpedoes, range 1. And
I'm gonna
2 blanks. Target lock.
You have Palpatine.
3 hits.
and
Yep, spends.
this is another crit. And then 2 hits, 2 crits.
2 hits and 2 crits.
So hit, crit, crit.
Hit, crit. And he's got the structural damage and fuel leak.
After I suffer a crit, I get the
He's on the good order.
Yeah, this is the right order to get them in, yeah?
Not a range to your shot.
So now, Heftober, I guess, is firing on Winder. Gets 2 hits and a crit. Winder rolls 1 in focus, I think it is. He has a focus. 1, and Vader dies.
And that's disabled.
And that was a disabled power regulator.
Did never get to use my target lock. This one is also gone? No. Yeah. Yeah, I spent.
And they go back to dial. So yeah, a pretty serious situation now. We're getting down to the point where it's a lot more balanced. I think it looks like we're going to be seeing a Leia pop to this turn.
Really?
Maybe even see. So Hoftober and Leia, the Princess Leia U-Wing will be turning around, trying to make sure they catch Winder wherever he's going. And the Benfic 2 tubes probably spins 180 to try and catch the shuttle, but I think the shuttle's probably just going to bump into him anyway. And we'll take this opportunity quickly now we're in the planning phase to thank you all for joining us, the 402 viewers that are watching us. And we will remind you all that it is thanks to the support I receive through Patreon and Twitch Prime that I'm able to do these events. All the money I receive goes straight to paying for transport and accommodation costs for these events. And so it is a big deal. Every little bit helps, and everything is greatly appreciated. So please do consider going on over to patreon.com. The link's in the chat now, where you can contribute however much you feel is worth for the coverage that you're watching this weekend. And and if you've got that Twitch Prime option, then please do remember to join us there. That money does make its way through to me eventually. And as I say, everything is used. Everything goes straight into paying for the transport, like petrol, airport costs, planes and stuff like that, and parking and trains and buses and blah blah blah, and sometimes hotels when it's possible. It's a big help. It makes it possible to do some of the biggest events throughout Europe, and at least once a month. Like I've had the last 4 months, I've had a System Open event. Before that, I had a hyperspace trial in Barcelona. Then we had an event in Poland. And then going back in November, I did the national championship here in France and the Nerf Herder event in Manchester. So it's not the money does go a long way, and make sure that you get to see some of the great games that we've been playing this weekend. Yeah. Even with the hyperspace in that last round, that was a pretty good game with all those ships, and it's a big help. So please do consider giving us a hand there. Yeah, and I'm traveling to the European Championships next month as well. Yeah, in Krakow. Are you going to European Championships, Benoit?
Yeah, I do.
Oh yeah, we just said you said at the beginning XTC. Yeah, of course.
European.
So I'll see you there.
Yeah,
awesome.
Amazing.
I will be trying to spend as little money as possible. I can tell you that much. It's proven to be very expensive. So Leia got popped. The Princess Leia U-wing flips 180. So there's a message come up in chat. There's a message come up in chat, Benoit, asking if I'm going to the Australian System Open.
Australian?
The Australian System Open. You need to all get. If you want me to come to the Australian System Open, you're got to get on Patreon quick, man, because there's no way I've got that kind of money. Just about the best I could do is just about shuttling myself across Europe every now and then, and trying to adjust that as much as possible. There's no way I've got the money to go to Australia. I apologise. I would have loved to go to Australia, but there's no way. You can go on the Patreon. You can see how much I'm earning per month. It's like $200 at most. And like I say, I squeeze that to get as much out of it as possible. And I would love the opportunity to do that, but it's just not happening. Yeah, it's not the same as some of these other guys that are getting like in 4 digits per month, and there's me with like $200 and just like, I can probably get a flight to France for that. Scary. And GoFundMe, I'm not a fan. I don't like the idea of constantly. I've got Patreon, so what's the point in asking for more money through GoFundMe? No, if you want to support me, Patreon is there. There is no obligation. You sign up on Patreon, and the second that you're bored of it, you can sign off. I'm not going to give you any hassle for it. I also try to be very subjective and not paying much attention to who signs up on Patreon these days, because I didn't want it to affect my choices when I get to an event. I didn't want to be picking people at the events because I know that they are on Patreon and then people start saying, he only puts people on camera who are on Patreon and stuff like that. So I've kind of like tried to distance myself. Also, with all the information coming out recently about the what's the word for the since a year ago. But let's go through this combat round and then I'll explain it. Right, so looks like crit.
I thought you would use the torpedoes.
There's like 2 focuses.
There's just 1 charge. Yeah, the advanced one is 1 charge. Let me see.
No, there's definitely a crit there.
At least 2. From this one.
Hit and crit. Re-rolls the blank with the target lock.
I have fire control system, so I keep the lock. Doesn't matter.
And gets another. So crit.
And another damage. Yeah, so he's gone. Yeah, so I keep part.
So he's taking 3 damage cards on Heftober, and that makes him dead. That's a damaged engine. Yeah, and there we go.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, bringing him down to just 2 ships now, and this could be where François pulls the game into his favor, because as I say, I think Lucas's error was not focusing on Jendon earlier and spreading his arcs out onto different targets. He needed to try and focus fire someone down. 1 evade, 1 focus, and a blank on the evade dice. Loses 1 shield on Vinder. Blank and evade.
2.
Takes 2. Not got half points for Vinder yet. But yeah, like I say,
It's close.
it's close. Yeah, they go back to Dars. So anyway, what I was saying before was for about a year now. So I started Patreon, and at first I was like, I should do rewards and stuff like that. But then I started working a lot more closely with the organizational team and stuff like that, and it became clear to me that offering rewards and stuff like that was a problematic thing. It would be an issue with regards to intellectual property and stuff like that. And that was a year ago when I started doing the major streams around Europe, and it became clear to me that I couldn't do those sort of rewards anyway because of the small amount of money I was receiving. And I decided to concentrate rather on making a bunch of trinkets and stuff like that. Concentrate on investing all the money I received straight into the product and being able to get to big tournaments and travel across Europe. So part of the reason there aren't any rewards for taking part. The reward is considered to be what you're watching right now. The fact that you're able to watch the final of the System Open from France okay, now I don't like to say it, but in the quality that I bring to it, everyone tells me it's a good quality product. What I do, it's distinct to everyone else's stream, and it's a noticeable quality of product, and that's basically what you're getting out of the Patreon experience. So please do consider helping us through there, and as has been pointed out in chat, the Twitch Prime subscription also works for me. You can click that Twitch Prime subscription, and that money does make its way through to me eventually. Yeah, I'd like to do as much as possible. I've tried to limit myself to 1 a month, and the more money I get, the more places I can go to. But right now, the situation is what it is, and I only get 200, and I'm happy with that 200. If I got more, then I'd probably be able to do more, or buy more equipment, or make things even better than they are now. It is now. And I'm working on it, And there was even an idea I came up with one time, because everyone always asks me about my software, and it's obviously a software that I make myself, and I develop myself for my own personal use. Mm-hmm. And for now, I've seen it as being more valuable as my own personal product rather than sharing it out to other people. But who knows? Maybe one of the future developments could be that as a Patreon tier would be to maybe make just saying things off the top of my head, make a level on Patreon for $10 a month. People that contribute $10 a month will have access to my software.
It's a good idea.
That might be a possible idea. It's something, right now it's not something I'm interested in doing right now because I'm still working on it. I'm making it better. I'm taking advantage of the fact that it makes me somewhat unique to everybody else. Maybe in the future that might be an option, I've got to really see how things go in the next couple of months. And yeah. And another thing is I have a very specific product, and there's certain things I'm willing to do and other things I'm not willing to do. And so like putting logos and stuff all over the screen, I'm not interested in doing that. So I appreciate the help that everyone is willing to do, is willing to put in, but there's something specific I'm trying to make out of this. I've worked on it for as long as I have, mostly out of my own money, and so it's kind of going as far as it is right now. I'm not willing to compromise on that aspect. I'm not willing to try and turn it into an advertising platform. Even though I'm perfectly conscious that that's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Gendon stops. And Binder.
Okay, so Gendon does a 0 maneuver, and Vinder takes a free turn to the right.
Seven-point difference.
Okay, action. So the other one didn't see me.
Thinking to reload or target lock.
Yeah, it's or I don't know.
Just one torpedo.
Just one torpedo left. And it looks like he's out of arc.
To reload to target lock and reload after for firing, because he can firing with disarm token.
But I think right. Yeah, well, he's taken your advice, and I mean, it looks like to me he's out of both arcs, so I didn't think it was important to have to wait to reload. I thought he could have done it now, and not had to worry about it later. But then, yeah, who knows if he'd have been able to get a target lock off in the next couple of rounds. So one hit, focus, and spends the Palpatine, force, gets 2 evades, and nothing happens there.
That's the only shot.
So Princess Leia fires on Colonel Gendon. Looks like it's not obstructed.
Just one.
Which sec? I have a target.
Oh, of course.
You have the target.
One hit, 2 blanks. Spends the target lock, gets a focus and a hit, spends the focus for 3 hits now on Colonel Gendon. And rolls evade, focus and focus.
I needed this with Vader.
Takes just 1, so it'll be 2 evades and focus. And regenerates the Palpatine force, and they go back to dials. So we've not got much left now. It's coming towards the last third of the game. Lukasz is in a position where he's not going to be able to do much here, but he's got Princess Leia regenerated now. So
Leia is back.
Yeah, you see he's got the charge token there. Because I think he's only using 1 charge token. I don't know how exactly he's doing it, but he's only got 1 charge token. You can see on the stream camera, there's a little Princess Leia doll over here, and that's the charge token right in front of her. And it's a close battle at the moment. There's only a 7-point lead in it for Lukasz. Can't afford to lose many more points.
They put in the...
And 1 more damage on the Vinder would give him even more points for half points on Vinder. Didn't use Leia this turn.
Oh, another target lock.
And Benfic 2 tubes. 2 turns to the right. And focuses and passes one over to the Princess Leia. Princess Leia target locked back onto Jendon, and Jendon takes a 1 straight.
Reinforce the front.
Reinforces front. And Vinder disengages with a free turn to the left, slamming back around. Yep. And
use an ISL.
yeah.
Yeah, for focus.
He gets the focus.
So Jendon. Ship number 4, number 2.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, so Viner not firing. Jendon going to fire on Benfic 2 tubes, I think. It's all really academic because they're both pretty much on full health.
Yeah, this one has lost 1, so I'm going to shoot the number 1.
So yeah, he's going to fire on Benfic, which has lost 1 shield with Jendon. Gets 1, 2, 3, 2 and a crit. Not bad. 1 evade. Takes 2 shields.
So here range 2 through the card.
Now, Princess Leia firing on Jendon.
Reinforce further with Cloud.
Yeah. Gets 2. Yeah, not going to be able to put much damage through there. 1 evade, Palpatine's another. Doesn't Palpatine another, sorry. That was the gas cloud. It sounded like he said Palp, but he's not removed the Force token. And 1 focus gets spent for 2. Vinder can't take any more damage. Gets 1 evade and 3 blanks. Takes the damage card for get half points for Vinder, putting Lukasz ahead 137 to 95, a margin of 42 points.
So what are the blue maneuvers for him?
1 forward, 2 forwards, and 2 banks.
1 banks also?
No.
Luca asks the green maneuver of Vinder.
Right now, obviously, Vinder's going to be coming back into the match this round with still with 1 proton torpedo and target lock on the Benfic 2 tubes. Yeah, I mean, right now Lucas is ahead, but there's still more than an hour to go. There's still an hour to go in the game. And I don't see him getting enough shots off and putting enough damage onto François' list. And François, in return, is focusing fire. Both of his ships going to be firing on the same ship. Benfic 2 tubes is going to take 2 attacks this round. Unless he's got some crazy maneuver.
It's possible to pop Leia too.
It's possible to what?
To pop Leia.
Pop Leia, yeah. But then, is that really good in this situation? Because it means he's got Vinder coming from behind. He's got Vinder coming from one side and Jendon coming from the other side. So it's not like he can just he can pop Leia and turn both to face in one direction. He needs to, and this is his problem. Is he's been dividing his fire the whole time, shooting at Jendon, shooting at Vinder, and he's not getting enough damage through to actually start taking these ships off the table. He's got half points in them. Major Viner's got 3 hit points left. Jenden's got 4 hit points left. But one ship isn't able to put through that much damage. He needs to start getting to secure the win on this game with 1 hour left. Lukasz needs to take another ship off the table. And to do that, he needs to focus fire it with both ships he's got left. And hope that they don't take him off the board because they're higher pilot skill than he is. So they're going to be firing first. It's an uphill struggle. Although he's ahead on points, he's losing the game, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't... And he's stressed.
Yeah.
I don't think he can to do a white. It could be to cost the game.
Yeah. Like I say, back when he had 4 ships and they were all kind of lined up in front of Jenden, I think that was the time when he wanted to focus fire on Jenden, get Jenden off the table, and not split his arcs up facing in other directions. He could have taken Jenden off the table, then Princess Leia to bring all those arcs back around, focus on Vader, and just be left with Vinder to take care of.
One bank.
Coordinate the target lock.
So with Valea, he coordinates the target lock to Benfic 2-2s. Benfic turns left, trying to catch Vinder, but even with the slam, Vinder's not just going to sit there. Once again, Leia's facing one direction, Benfic's facing the other direction. There's going to be virtually no cadence of fire on this round. And depending on how hard Vinder's turned,
No, too hot.
yeah, hard turned but bumped. So that's some consolation for Benfic 2-2s, but he's Lukasz in this situation isn't shooting this round, and Jenden is.
Okay, so Jenden. Range 2. Yep.
So 1 hit and 1 crit and a blank against Benfic 2-2s, rolls focus and evade, spends the focus, saves himself from 2, and gets out of this one. But so yeah, so I mean, this turn is probably a good candidate for popping Leia, but Leia's U-wing is stressed. But he needs to bring those arcs around. He needs to focus fire. He can't allow himself to be constantly shooting at one ship or the other. He needs to shoot both U-wings at one of François' ships.
Yeah, I don't think Winder can distress. Because the green maneuver is too forward.
Yeah.
And if
the shuttle will probably be in that kind of space, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if let's say he uses Leia this turn, both U-wings flip to face the shuttle. The shuttle moves 1 forward, blocks Vinder's possible de-stress maneuver, which means Vinder's either bumping into Heftober again, not Heftober, Benfic 2 tubes this turn again, or he's taking a maneuver that will probably disengage him from the battle. There's a possibility of Lukasz taking the Lambda off this next turn, but he needs to get lucky on those rolls. So he pops Leia. Yeah, spins the Leia U-wing to face the shuttle. And once again with Benfic 2 tubes, also spins to face the shuttle. So now we're starting to see something that makes sense. Shuttle moves 1 forward. And just Vinder left. Now this could be a decisive maneuver in the game.
Yeah, really. Range 1. I think.
Yeah.
Reinforce,
yeah.
All right.
Well, he's got. It makes no reinforce front or rear, right? So it's front because it's range 1.
Yeah.
But he's. I think he jammed him. To remove his focus token. And Vinder.
So do your worst. I only get 1.
So yeah, he bumped, huh? So Vinder. No, this is Jendon firing on Benfic 2 tubes. 2 hits, 2 focuses. He's thinking about Palpatine.
Have points.
Might die anyway.
Yeah.
If he do, but
1 damage through.
So he used Palpatine in the end, yeah. Blank takes 3 damage. Still alive with 2 points. And now Lukasz returns fire on Colonel Jendon. Just got to get 3 hit points through. No Palpatine, no focus on the Lambda, no target locks or mods for Lukasz. Gets blanks there, 1 focus and 2 blanks. And now the second U-wing attacks at range 1, gets a 2 hits. Enter, not enough to take Vinder off this turn.
How many left? 2.
Oh god, I still got off Vinder, no I mean Jendon. Now my tablet's run out of energy. Yeah, so, and then they're back to dials, and yeah, that it's a tough situation, right? Because now Jendon's down to 2 hit points.
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 damage cards, 2 hit points, and it means Lukasz is still in a position now where he's got to try and press the advantage on that shuttle. Vinder's in a position where he can't make the maneuver he wants to make.
Yeah.
He could still do a 0-stop maneuver with Benfic 2 tubes, stress himself, but it means that he keeps blocking that lane while he de-stresses with Leia, continues to follow the Lambda, because the Lambda's got to move forwards as well. It means that Heftober won't be getting shot Benfic 2 tubes won't be getting shot this round if both ships bump into him, trying to do green maneuvers to remove their stress.
Yeah, really. I think...
Now Vinder's not stressed now, huh? Because he did the green maneuver last turn.
Not stressed, yeah.
It's one of those things where it's a list, the 4 U-wings, this would be the end of the game if we were playing a normal match. Because it's a final, it's 2 hours long.
Yeah.
Right? And if it was a normal match, Lukasz would have won already. But he's still got to tough it out, and he's not been putting enough damage onto François' list to make it a valid win for him.
I'm good.
Okay.
This come back on. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, he's bumped. It looks like he's bumped into the back of Jendon now with Princess Leia shuttle, with the Princess Leia U-Wing.
Hyperspace players, that is time of the round. Please finish your first round and submit your scores. Remember, if you have 5 wins, please submit the match slip so we can give you your invite to Worlds.
And he pulled out the stop maneuver, yeah? As I said. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Jendon. Yeah. Bumps into Benfic 2 tubes. Right, and where's Vinder going to go? Because once again, it all depends on Vinder's maneuvers as to whether or not he's going to be able to take full advantage of these the position he's gotten himself into. If Vinder bumps again, it means that Benfic's not getting attacked. Jendon's not getting well, Jendon can fire rear. So it means that both Vinder and Jendon are going to fire on Princess Leia, which is good because she's not been damaged yet, but both of them putting out damage could be a problem. Yeah, looks like Vinder's bumped again. So we're attacking the Princess Leia shuttle. The U-Wing, we've got one hit, is evaded. Couldn't have gone better for Lukasz.
Has a shot this time? Oh, yes.
Mate.
Range. Is it 3 or 2? I think it's 3. 3.
Vinder fires. I think. No? Right, okay. Two evades. Lukasz getting very lucky there.
For ice.
Ooh.
No.
Just one? It looked like there was a lot of crits there. There were a lot of focuses, huh? And that's a focus result, gets turned into an evade. So nothing happening there. Right, so now a bad situation for Lukasz, getting lucky, but not quite able to get what he needs out of this game. He's got Vinder and Jendon so close.
Yeah, the capacity of the wing to block is very well.
And Benfic there with just 2 hit points left and not having to take damage because he's in contact with both ships. And he rolled so many evades there to make sure he didn't take any damage himself, but just wasn't able to put any damage through. And that's what the problem's been this game, is he's got to take those ships off the board. He can't be spending more time and allowing this game to go on longer, because every turn that passes, the Imperials are eventually going to find themselves in a position where they're going to be able to fire both ships on Benfic, and then Leia by herself isn't going to be able to do enough damage to get both ships off the board.
very close. Leia pop in one charge. Next turn.
No, she only just popped. Not that. She's got 2 charges at the moment.
Yeah, and the next
turn she'll have regenerated.
After this round.
Yeah, after this round. But I don't know if it's just one ship. Up to what point is that any use?
Well, in fact, not so sure now.
I think Bentinck do one forward just for bump, and then the lambda come choke.
Yeah. I mean, at this position, maybe even he allows both Vinder and Gender to continue bumping into Benfic to be able to shoot into Leia the whole time. So reveals Benfic first. Benfic bumps.
Bumps to
Leia. Leia does a 2 bank to the right. 2 turn to the right.
He prepare, I think. Yeah. You think he used Leia after?
You think?
I think, yeah.
Yeah,
because
so he'd be spinning for the next turn, yeah?
The lambda is blocked for anything move. If Vinder can move over the block, the lambda can go over the band over Bentinck.
Yeah.
But it's so close for the lambda.
Yeah, so it looks like Vinder's finally done a maneuver to try and get himself out of there. Oh no, this was Jenden. Jenden's bumped again. I don't think so.
And it's a too hard
right,
stress.
Too hard. Which gives Princess Leia arc range 1 with a focus this time. Probably going to reinforce the front.
No.
No?
No.
No, it doesn't fit. Ooh.
Too bad.
Yeah, so just coming up to the 75% mark of the game. Half an hour left nearly. 1 evade. Yeah, and they're back to dials again. There's no moving going on here. There's no changing, and it's just kind of gridlocked in that section of the board. And as you said, he's got the option of using Leia this turn, but the Leia U-wing is already stressed, and she needs those actions to be able to buff her dice. Oh gosh. And I don't think Leia firing by herself is going to work for him. That U-wing doesn't have a K-turn, does it? Benoit. Does the U-wing have a K-turn?
The U-wing?
Have a K-turn? No, just a stop. Right,
no,
okay.
K-turn.
Yeah, because I was just thinking it might be good for Benfic to just trying to get out of there and with the Princess Leia free stress mechanic, just be able to go forward and flip around. But he's stuck there and he can't get anywhere.
If the U-wing have the K-turn, it was so strong.
No, yeah, of course, yeah. So sometimes, you know, there's so many ships now. With the changes from first edition, it's always been a bit more difficult for me to keep up with how many changes there are.
The city infiltrator have the catcher.
Yeah.
It was a large ship.
Yeah. Right, so is there any sense in François trying to break up this collision? No, there's no reason for him to move. He hasn't popped Leia. Looks like a one bank to the left. No, just one straight.
He take his time.
Yeah.
He have the.
I mean, he really wants to see
to
see what François is going to do here to try and work out whether or not what he wants to do for the next round. And he's taking advantage to get a target lock now, so that next round he can take target lock, focus, and attack.
Yeah.
Jendon, I guess, because right. I mean, I guess he could attack Vinder if Vinder is still bumping, but no. It looks like now Vinder's taking a two-turn or two-bank. Two-turn to the left. And once again, Benfic is being moved out of position. And Vinder manages to escape the gridlock. Oh, yes.
And then action. Let me see.
30 minutes left.
Did he target lock the Benfic behind him? Oh, he's deciding his action right now. Okay. He's trying to work out what he wants to do. Focuses.
So Vinder is the only shot.
So Vinder firing on Princess Leia. One blank, a hit and a crit. Leia rolls, focuses.
So 2 shields. You don't have a...
2 shields.
Taking focus all game, so
And back to dials. Oof. Right, so this here is a good point to pop Leia, but where's Vinder going to end up?
Yeah. The Leia U-wing
wants to rotate to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so we'll
but
probably
think
because Vinder's most likely to try and go in this direction, right?
possible.
Yeah.
It's difficult to go to the left.
Yeah, to the left is more difficult, bringing you close to the board edge. Straight is more likely to bump than get anywhere, and if it does get past the U-wing, it's going to be leaving him on the other side of the board edge. So yeah, I think he wants to rotate Leia to face in this direction, and Benfic as well, and ignore the shuttle for another round, because get 2 shots on Vinder, assuming Vinder doesn't manage to have some crazy maneuver that gets him out of there, or maybe even a slam.
Yeah. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, if Vinder got the right, it's possible a good choice to turn on the right the U-wing. Yeah.
To face both of the U-wings towards François' board edge. All right.
But it's a bet.
Yeah, you've got to gamble it. Yeah. So he's popped Leia.
Yeah.
Spins 180. Which makes me think once again he's splitting his arcs. He's trying to have Leia focus on Jendon, and Benfic would probably spin and try and focus on Vinder, which once again I think is a bad choice. we don't know where Vinder's going to go. If Vinder was to bump into Leia, then the spinning 180 would be a good option. But I really think he wanted to turn. Vinder's probably going to go much faster, skip past Leia, and facing towards François' board edge would have been more favourable for Leia.
I think Jen is the end of Jen down.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. He can shot a trench run with rear arc on Bentic.
Yeah.
He can kill Bentic too.
Yeah, he can kill Benfic through the rear arc. Yeah. Finally, and he's firing before Benfic, so it comes down to the die roll. We've seen some impressive die rolls from Lukasz so far. Let's see if there's some way he manages to keep Benfic on the table to be able to fire on Jendon. And this could be the end of Jendon. If he's able to keep both U-wings on the table, then this would be the end of Jendon, or it's the end of Benfic, one of the two.
Yeah.
You can't have both.
Reload.
Okay, Vinder has no shot, and then Jendon.
So Jendon firing on Benfic, 2 dice out the rear arc. Three hits with Palpatine.
Just 2 evade.
I did not. It's only if I want to turn. I
didn't know. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's open.
Yeah, his wings are open.
But if I roll a blank, then that's that.
He's got to get double evades. Gets one, spends a focus, takes one, stays on the table. Stays on the table. It's alive.
It's a trap.
Now.
I thought I would maybe turn and get him, but then that would have killed me now. So range 1.
Okay, range 1 onto the Lambda. 4 dice. Gets enough hits to take Jendon off the table finally. The game's not over, but it's not decided either. Vinder currently has reloaded an advanced proton torpedo and a proton torpedo, but is facing the wrong direction right now, as are both U-wings. However, they are not stressed, so they can both pull off the zeroed maneuvers with the pivot wing closed and spin around again this turn to face the same direction as him. He needs to go fast. He needs to go free bank, slam again to get out of range and try and come back around.
I think Ben think that this turn.
This turn, but how's
because you have the free left, free right.
Oh right, the free turn and then free turn again with the slam and then torpedo. Yeah, he's got the lock. Yeah, of course. But then to throw a torpedo onto something that's got only 1 hit point left. I don't know.
I don't know, because if he slam, he can't to reroll just 1 dice because just with MISL you can't reroll all dice. But you have just 1 life.
Yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting turn, and even if he gets Benfic off the table, Vinder's still running around on 3 hit points, and Leia can reduce that down to 1, putting the situation in a much more putting François in a much more dangerous situation.
Yeah, really. And for the end game, the U-wing with Leia is a good advantage to move.
And even Lukasz can still just turn his ships in, right? Just kind of bring Benfic in with a 2-turn, bank in with Leia, No? So we're assuming that Vinder's going to take that free turn and then slam back around. Yeah.
It's hard.
I mean, he's going to take Benfic off the table, which means only Leia will be shooting. But Leia's got the target lock already, right? Yeah, she's got... Oh, no, the target lock's on Benfic.
It's possible. You can take the bet for Benfic to add dead for dead.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. Woo. Like mutual destruction, right? It's going to be difficult. It's going to be an interesting engagement this next round. Let's see what the players look like as they're going through this. As just as François sits back in his seat and disappears off camera. Oh, and it's a one bank from Leia. Bear's my wife's name. There's a one bank from Leia. And it looks like a... What? Making it hard. Making Vinder work for that, for those points. Okay.
It's a 2.
It's a 2 turn.
So what are you going to do now?
Slam. To slam or not to slam?
Reload the top?
Reload.
Yeah, so I'm still on top.
Okay. So nothing.
He reloads the top, so nothing happens this round.
That's all right.
Which is probably
It's
the
more
best.
secure.
Yeah, it's more secure for François. Rather than gambling, he's got his target locked on the wrong ship. But now both of Lucas's ships have target locked Vinder. Benfic is out of the. Is he going to do a 0 spin again? Benfic?
No, it's possible. He
No,
haven't many solutions.
He's going to get shot and he'll die.
Yeah, stop or too hard.
Too hard, maybe, because yeah.
But it's it's well played because Vinder wants to kill Bentic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but he's not getting. He's not getting it, is it?
But Leia,
20 minutes left in the round,
20.
and you know from a recent System Open final how
Yeah,
easily things can go to time, huh?
Yeah, you don't see the time.
Yeah.
2 hours is
Yeah, solid 2 hours spent doing this now.
François have a good fighting spirit because it's not easy to the start with Vador takes 2 damage. And
Yeah.
it's the leader of this list, and he have the courage to not tilt.
Yeah, no, he's a very calm player. He's very calculated in what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He's shown his experience on several occasions. He's a very good player. I remember when I first met him at the first European Championships, he made it into top 16. Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. François doesn't play many train.
He doesn't play much.
He do just only great events.
Yeah, the big events,
only
and then playing at home. Yeah, he doesn't.
Free final in 1 year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So much pressure.
Made the System Open final last year.
Yeah.
Won the national in June last year. System Open finalist. national tournament winner in November, and then now finalist in the System Open 2018 in July. 2019, sorry.
Just to keep the line.
Yeah, so Vinder bumps into Leia here. And Benfic span.
Just checking the range. Way out.
The Princess Leia U-Wing has, because Vinder wants to try and shoot Benfic 2-2. He's like, I've had enough of this guy. I want to get rid of him. But does Leia spin this turn?
Yeah, it's possible. We have how many different points? 42 points.
Yeah, 42 points. Lucas is ahead by.
70 minutes left.
Yeah, 17 minutes left, 15 minutes left. But, I mean, so let's say if he was able to get half point, if François in 15 minutes was able to get half points on Leia and destroy Benfic with the 15 minutes, it would put him ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's
by 11 points. And it's only doing 3 damage. But, Lucas's play has been excellent as well, forcing those bumps, denying the possibility of shooting to François.
I don't know if bump here.
Okay, dials are down. Two bank from Benfic. Focuses and passes one to Princess Leia.
Yeah, it's a 0.
Yeah. And they're gonna turn, it's just a question.
Yep.
Vinder is target locked by the 2 U-Wing.
Have to do something.
Yeah. So Leia's done the spin.
Maybe I can leave him because he will.
No, put it back, please.
Okay. You stay. Damn.
I wasn't supposed to tell you, but so yeah, but
yeah, I know, and you have this
Hard turn.
of course now you gotta
So,
kill
Or one bank.
Yeah, it's a good idea because he can launch the missile.
Yeah,
No
he's got
shot,
he's got the torpedo shot now on Benfic. So we're finally going to say goodbye to Benfic, and it's going to be Vinder versus Leia with 15 minutes to go. Just one, and then the target lock gets spent to re-roll.
2. You need 1.
Looks like he's only got 2 and 2 focuses.
I can
Do it again.
I can also blank out. 2 people can play this game.
1 evade, 1 blank, and that's the end of the U-Wing. And Lukasz still holds the lead by 14 points until Vinder hits 2 more damage onto Princess Leia.
It's not close for François.
François, I see this game, and it's been like this for the last half hour. It's a question of François' game to lose. He's not a fool with his maneuvers. He knows what he's doing. So they've double bumped into each other now. And I think Leia is regenerated, but the Leia U-wing is stressed anyway. Does a one bank.
Yeah, did you do your action? Right. And this one was from the other guy. Yep.
It was.
Two bank to the right from Vinder. Yeah.
And
target locking. Yeah, this is coming into the last couple of rounds now, and it looks like Vinder's going to do it for you. Just one more thing before we get to the end. Thank you all for watching us this weekend, and please do remember that this coverage is brought to you thanks to the support I receive on patreon.com. So please do go on over to patreon.com. There's a link in the chat now. Any amount you give is greatly received and helps to pay for the transport and accommodation costs to get to these tournaments. And of course, if you have Twitch Prime, please do remember to hit that Prime button, as that money does make its way through to me as well eventually. And hopefully we'll have more high quality tournaments like this one in the future. This has been a great final game. It's still not decided, but I do get the impression that we're going for François in this case. What do you think, Benoit?
And for what? Sorry.
For François, do you think François got this game won, or?
It's really possible. You have an opportunity to launch another.
Yeah, he's got a free attack here.
You have the half.
He's just got to get 2 points to be in the lead with 10 minutes to go. Leia could always get some free attacks in later and take Vinder off the board, but it's going to be an uphill struggle for Lukasz from here on out. 1, 2, 3, 2 hits and 2 crits, 1 evade.
Yeah, the half points.
Half points go on. That's a hull breach? No. Damage sensor array, and I didn't see that one. I was looking.
and you've got Leia back. Okay.
I had her the turn before, but
Damage sensor array and damaged engine.
He returns the game. He returns the game. It's François win now.
Yeah, well, of course. It swings. The game swings in François'
That's right.
favor.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
exactly.
swing.
Yeah. Right. But there's, a damaged engine. She's stressed. I don't see how Lukasz is getting out of this.
You've got Leia back. I'm good.
So despite the nerf, Hatchet Man still proving to be a high power list in the new meta that we have for the next 6 months. And I guess you could see him all over the place at Gen Con next week, right?
Gen
Con, yeah. It's not next week, it's the week after. It's really close.
We have a ground championship for Gen Con?
No, it's a continental championship.
Continental.
European championship.
Yeah, national is grand championship.
Yeah. Bumps.
Vinder, if he wants, can move, slam, at the end of the game.
Yeah.
I think the E-wing can't catch him.
Yeah, he could just run now if he wanted to. I don't see it being François. I don't see it being very François to do that. I see François wanting to kill him, to be honest. And as we mentioned before at the beginning of the game, if you have just tuned in, François already had a flight paid for the World Championship because he won the national championship in France here in November. So he already had the flight paid for. So that means that Lukasz automatically qualified for a free flight. Now they're playing to see who gets the hotel François doesn't want to pay for the hotel, does he? Oh, be careful! Don't touch that! Don't touch that! Right?
Sorry.
Yeah. Because it makes a sound that echoes all the way up to the microphone.
Okay.
Yeah. The rest of it you can touch without much of a problem, but just that one bit is terrible. Right, reloads the proton torpedoes, and right now we're just delaying the inevitable. Ooh. So yeah, for the next couple of turns, you're not going to see much combat. Lukasz' layer takes a 2-bank to the left. And focuses. Major Vinder.
Yeah.
Free turn to the right. Slams, right?
He takes his time.
Reloads again. Yeah, he's in no hurry. It's like you're still going to be there when I come.
Lukasz must gain point. No François. And with the proton torpedo, he can kill how many? How many?
She's got 3 hit points left on Leia. Leia does the U pivot. The pivot wing. Spin 180 degrees. Stressed. Major Vinder. Takes a free bank to the right. Fully armed now. Target locked.
Just focus, yeah.
He just focuses. Once again, not in a hurry.
Good.
Leia moves 1 bank to the left. And Vinder takes a 2-turn to the right. And they're out of range there. Focuses.
Maybe out of range.
Out of range. Here it comes, Benoit. Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Here.
Here it comes. There's not. This is it. This round.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
I don't think there's I don't think there's much options left here.
François did the job.
Yeah. François is going to fire first. Proton torpedo.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Leia is at. Oh, he does a 0 maneuver. Focuses. Vinder. Free bank right. Closing into range for it too.
Clouds, no cloud.
Looks like maybe obstructed. Yeah, he's got 3 dice in his hand.
5. Oh, trick shot.
Trick shot.
Yeah, with a trick shot. Rerolls 1.
Oh, that was a hit and
Gets 5.
5 hits.
And
He's got to roll all of aids to stay on the board.
Yeah.
did I add the crit from the
I don't think so.
Okay.
No,
He's rolling 3 dice. He's got to roll all of aids to stay on the board.
So one from the debris.
One from debris token spends the focus and takes a crit console fire, which means he might die, and that's a stun pilot. So now when he engages, he's got to roll for the console fire, which might take him off the board. Here it comes. Wait, we're switching camera here. It's a hit.
Wow. Amazing swing.
Woof. Amazing. Thank you so much, Benoit.
Thank you. Really, pleasure.
Yeah, great game. Thank you all for joining us. Please do remember to support on Patreon if you enjoyed it. It makes it possible to have even more streams. François, back-to-back national champion and System Open winner from Paris, France, for the events in Paris, France. He is from Brest, France. He is one of the best players that France have. And finally, yeah, well, there you go, man. System Open. Invite to the Coruscant Championship. Takes home the glass plaque. Lukasz gets the wooden plaque. Both players have a flight paid for to the World Championship in October. Woo! And also remember, if you're watching, if you got that Twitch Prime subscription, please do smash that button so I can get a little bit more help. Thank you all for joining us. We're going to get an interview with both players shortly.
You died. You rolled for console fire. Is that what took you off the board?
Yeah,
still engaging.
Yeah, still can engage.
You can still shoot him.
Yes.
Yeah.
That seems weird.
You have begun your engagement. You can still shoot. We can go to final salvo. Range 2 obstructed.
Target lock. That's not going to do it.
Evade. Okay. There we go. François, I'm very sorry. We don't have the trophy for you.
Oh, really?
We don't. Okay. Alex forgot it at home.
He wants for himself.
He will, if he sees you at Europe, he will have it for you really well. Is that alright? That's perfect. Fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm supposed to be working.
It was a lot of fun, actually.
It was a good game. It was a good game, and it was really swinging. And I'll speak to you in a minute.
Can we get some pictures?
Yes.
Yeah?
Okay, go on.
With my
Oh, well done. That was a good game. I'll speak to you afterwards, okay?
Yeah, of course. Oh, merci.
Okay, all right.
Oh, I mean, it almost got to time. It's like, yeah, it's time's ended now. Like, well, we're back on this. But that was like, it's interesting. Yes, no, bring it back.
Don't you whistle at me. Don't you whistle at me. You know who I am?
Let's sit you down. Wrong button. Lukasz, well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Finalist, runner-up at the System Open Series 2019 in Paris. And you fought well for it. Now, your list, you've done very well. You only lost one game up until this final, right? You lost one game.
I lost one in Swiss.
Yeah, and you had the bye for the first round today.
Yeah.
One of the things we noticed is that when we got to like the 75-minute mark, you were far ahead. You were doing very well. And the question is it that your list is good in that respect, in the time limit, but then like dragging it on further made things a little bit more difficult?
Yeah, I guess you can say that, though. Usually I won my games by destroying all the enemy ships, so
yeah,
they didn't go to time a lot. And this time I think I was ahead on points, but I was not ahead like tactically.
Yeah.
So he had the stronger force on the field.
I 100% agree with you there. It was kind of like you knew that like it was just a question of time, and you had to leverage position to be able to, and like for example that one point where you were all kind of like bunched, like stuck together and bumping each other, Vinder and Jendon on both sides of Benfic, and it was just like that was your best position to be in because it meant that Benfic wasn't getting shot at. And it was about leveraging that as much as possible, and you didn't get lucky in that case because when you could shoot with the layer U-wing, you weren't putting out the damage that you needed to do to get ships off the board.
But I don't think my dice were bad or anything.
No.
It was okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, the U-wings, they like this bumpy situation.
Yeah.
But it can also go bad for them when they get shot unmodified and the opponent rolls natties and you don't roll well and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And in this case, he was quite fine with bumping as well. He was doing that really well with Winder.
Yeah.
Doing the bumping game, like first edition Miranda.
Yeah.
I played her a lot. You do that in the end game to not get shot, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you fly after the opponent, so that's a great position to be in.
Yeah.
So essentially, when I lost my the third U-wing, the game was kind of lost because he was just so much more maneuverable.
It was too much to try and keep up with.
Yeah.
You needed to have those extra shots. You needed to have that kind of cadence of fire of being able to shoot 3 times turn. And there was a point at the early stages of the game where I think it really kind of like is where you really kind of gave the game away a little bit. Now obviously it's not to criticize you, but like for example, there was a part where if we look at this screen, right, he had the Lambda here, Vader here, and Vinder had bumped into the first U-wing, the Jyn Erso one, right?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
All right, and at that point you decided to disengage with Jyn Erso, and I think another one went to the other direction as well.
Yeah.
And kind of split up your firing arcs. And I felt at that time the best option was to concentrate on the Lambda and just kind of edge them forward and be able to fire all 4 on the Lambda, try and get it off the table as soon as possible. Yeah. And I'm not saying that meant that gave the game away, but like I kind of felt like splitting up your firing arcs meant you had less potential fire, right?
Yeah.
And that's what cost you really, is you weren't doing damage quickly enough.
Yeah.
And that's where I think really is where the game's kind of gone against you. I mean, he was a lot more maneuverable and had a lot better positioning for most of the game.
Yeah.
But like I say, at the beginning, things kind of went very far in your favor, and he had to fight back for it. And credit to François that he played
incredibly.
Yeah, he's played amazingly. He's not given up. He's kept that fighting spirit throughout the whole game. Yeah. Regardless of how you want to look at it, you are going to the World Championship. You have a flight paid for.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so you're going to represent Switzerland at the World Championship, right?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of other guys coming.
Yeah?
One or two. I don't know yet.
Has Switzerland been represented at the World Championship before?
I don't think so.
This will be the first time.
Maybe, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. Because you had a national like about 3 or 4 years ago, right? And there was only like 25 players.
That was before my time even.
Ah, right, okay.
Before I started playing.
Okay.
Yeah, but now we're going to the European Championship and the team championships.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That's why we got these team shirts.
Yeah.
And I mean, for this game, the U-Wings don't have the worst matchup against Aces. It's usually quite good.
Yeah.
But you have to play it well in a sense because you can't just keep all your ships together because then he will outmaneuver you.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of anticipate where he's going, kind of split up your arcs, but also know where you're going to be shooting because you will have to give him a target lock and an extra focus and stuff, because just 3 dice with focus, oftentimes you don't land a hit on aces.
Yeah, of course.
And then you need to try to get the blocks and everything, so I think it's a really interesting list to play. I didn't invent it, a friend of mine invented it.
Yeah, you were
so shout out to him.
There,
yeah, it's awesome.
It's a good list. Yeah, it's a strong, solid list. It's kind of like the second version of Rebel Beef, right? It's even got some of the elements of Rebel Beef.
In a way, but it plays really differently, I feel, because of the stop maneuvers.
Yeah.
And of the coordinate.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, one of the things I say is that it's not to take anything away from you, the fact you've lost. You played amazingly. Like, even though, like I said, like you said, tactically you were behind on the game, even though you were ahead on points.
Yeah.
You still fought for it, and there were still possibilities of where you could claw the game back. Yeah. Just sometimes it just didn't go in your favor. Yeah.
I think the one turn where I turned around my Bentic, who was like on 1 health.
Yeah.
That might have been a mistake. But you never know. He can go slow, and then it's kind of a mistake.
Yeah.
And he can go fast, and then it would have been right, maybe. Often there are these 50-50 situations.
Exactly, and there's no real...
And you never know.
Yeah, you can't really tell. And then with the dice rolls, you got really lucky with Benfic, like keeping him on the board with 1 hit point, huh?
Yeah,
that
that's
one
nice.
attack that you had on you, and you managed to tank it through.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lukasz, thank you for taking part in the stream. Thank you for sharing your game with us. It was a pleasure to watch it. I'm so happy to have seen you make it to the final and know that you've got the flight to the World Championship. Did you manage to miss your train in the end?
I missed my train. I'm probably going to stay 1 more night, but I think I can work it out with work, so no problem.
Awesome.
Yeah, and thank you for the streaming work. It's awesome.
No
I try to support you on Patreon.
Thank you.
I encourage everyone to do the same.
Thank you. It's what makes it all possible, right?
Yeah.
Is it like,
I mean, we all like to be at home and watch the games.
Yeah, of course.
When we can't participate, so that's awesome that someone's doing it.
Yeah, and thank you all for joining us and watching the interview. Right now, watching your interview, there's like 150 people, which is a shame because there were like 400 something watching the final.
Yeah.
And now they've all disappeared because they're like, we don't care what he says. But anyway, I want to say thank you very much for taking part, and it was a pleasure to watch. And like I say,
it was an awesome game to play. Also,
having met you last year, and we had a good relationship back then. It's like it's nice to see like friends make it to the final.
Yeah, okay. I mean we're like a big community. We're all friends here. So
exactly.
It's nice.
Awesome. Thank you, Lukasz.
Have a nice day.
See you soon, hopefully, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. You're coming to Euros, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, François. Congratulations.
Thank you.
A pleasure to have watched, and an excellent game as well.
Oh yeah, it was very tense.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it as much? Listen, you're all the way over there. Come over here.
Oh,
right.
This way.
Yeah, much better. Okay. Did you enjoy it as much as it was to watch? Was it a fun game?
Oh yeah, it was very tense game, very interesting. It's a matchup I had never had before.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything was top, and my opponent was an excellent one. He was a fair player. Yeah, I enjoyed all of it.
Yeah, did you? One of the things we talked about with him is that he pulled ahead quite early on points and maintained a steady lead for almost 90% of the game. And despite that, like talking with Lukasz, we felt that although he was ahead on points, he was behind in the actual damage race. It was a question of time until you won. And having the extra time, the 2 hours of game, meant that it was just waiting until you got into the position where you had
it made a huge difference. That's true.
Yeah.
And he knew I could put damage on these ships quite quickly with the torps.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's why he felt like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a situation where he was playing catch up the whole game, just trying to make sure that he wasn't giving you the opportunity to fire on him, and trying to prevent any kind of swing in balance in the game. And he played really well in that respect. He held you back as far as he could, but eventually it was like the tide. It just basically just washed over him eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was a bit when I lost Vader, I thought that would be maybe not the game, but that was a huge loss for me. And I had hesitated between the barrel roll and the boost.
Yeah.
And maybe the boost would have put me out of arc. I don't know. So at this time and then I tried not to think about it anymore and just play the game. So and that went well for me.
Yeah, awesome. One of the things I say as well is as far as your record is concerned, right? So I've known you since like the European Championships 2016.
Yeah, that's
and you were always a high-level player. You were making tops. You were always getting close to the final, but never winning. And we saw last year the System Open.
Yeah.
You made the final against Sebastian Artuche.
Yes.
But lost in the System Open final last year. Then came back and made the final at the National Championship in November. Won that.
Yeah.
And now made the final at the System Open 2019, and you've won that. So this is like suddenly we start pinning medals to your chest when people start to realize that yes. And before it's what I said to you, when you won in November, it's like suddenly it's like now it's validated that like you are one of the best players. Before then we would say you are one of the best players. Now other people start to recognize that yes, he's
that's kind. Thank you very much for. I don't know if I deserve that, but thank you for saying it anyway.
All right. One of the other things I want to say is that, like as we said before, right? So you've got the flight already paid for, the hotel now. Lukasz gets the other flight. Everything was all cool, but even so, you fought for the battle. You wanted to get that championship prize, and the prize isn't here, but it will get to you eventually, I'm sure. Right? The only other thing, that's it really. That's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah, I mean, I had a little story with myself.
Go on.
A few days ago, I left my son with my parents.
Yeah.
And told him I was going to play X-Wing, and he's 5.5 now, so he understands what it's about.
Yeah.
And then so he remembered the French nationals that I had won.
Yeah.
And he told me, "Are you going to win, Dad?" And I told him, "Oh, we can't win every time, my son."
But yes, you can. There you go. His head's gonna be a bit confused now. She's gonna be like, "No, Dad always wins." Of course.
So yeah, that's a bit. But much of an emotion for me, this story.
Okay, awesome, wicked. So yeah, speaking of emotions, right? So that's it as far as the interview is concerned. The only other thing we'll talk about now is the passing of Louis Vernochet.
Yeah.
Who died 3 weeks ago, which is like, I've not mentioned it too much, but that's the reason I am wearing the shirt that he would play X-Wing in, as a kind of a homage, a remembrance for him, to make sure that it was a visual communication as a remembrance of him. And so 3 weeks ago he passed, roughly 3 weeks ago he passed, after suffering for 3 years from lymphoma cancer.
Yep.
And he was a very pivotal person in the community. Everybody knew who Combo was.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Was a national judge 1 year, right?
He won Belgian nationals in
2016.
Yeah.
But he was a judge the year before that, the same year in France nationals, right? Down in Toulouse.
And in Toulouse?
In the French national?
Did he not play? Maybe. I can't remember if he played or if he judged.
I understood he was judging. Anyway.
Maybe you're right.
He was a big player in the community, right? What sort of things do you remember about Combo?
Well, he was a very nice person, that's for sure. And yeah, I think that's one person that lets emotions flow. And if he was happy, everybody would know. And if he was not, everybody would know as well.
He was very passionate.
Yeah, really passionate. And that's those kind of people share their happiness when they can, and that's a good quality I liked about him.
Excellent, awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you for streaming.
No problem.
Your high quality streams are very welcome.
A pleasure as always. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. Good luck. You're not going to European Championships, right?
No, I can't.
So next one for you will be World Championship.
That will be Worlds. That's true.
Yeah. Okay, so best of luck, man.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
See you next time, Simon.
See you soon
and,
as well.
Do you intend to go to Worlds?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so surprised. Then.
It depends on a lot of things. That depends on a lot of things right now, and it's very expensive. And there's a lot of things that depends on. I've never really been much of a person to want to go to Worlds to kind of set up my own stream. It's not really the sort of thing I'm interested in doing, more than anything because my stream's not as small as some other people's streams, and so it's a lot of equipment, and I have to go for a long time to the United States, and I bring very little clothes when I come here for a weekend, so like spending more time in the States would be much more difficult. Anyway, who knows? I won't say no. I would never say no.
And Minnesota in October, you might need clothes.
Yes, I would need a lot of clothes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you again, Simon.
Okay,
see you next time.
Let's say goodbye to everybody now.
Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.